You know, anime as a medium isn't really home to a lot of minority characters. It's mostly just Asian people, right? And even if there is black people, it varies widely on the quality, because you can have a Dragon Ball level of adaptation with big lips, black skin, and all the stereotypes, or you can have a Bleach, we can have a Soul Eater, we can have a Fire Force. Now, I'm not trying to call anybody racist. I'm sure that back in the day, it wasn't that bad. But, you know, standards change, and, you know, like, it feels weird going back and watching this and thinking to yourself, man, could these people actually could have been racist? Because it's wild how much they were allowed to get away with. But getting away from the depressing stuff, let's talk about 5 characters that are clearly made to be racist. You know, Pim and Frieren are the only people I can actually give the pass of, like, I understand why they are racist. Frieren for the fact of they are demons. Legitimately, they are evil. They cannot be changed. They only mimic sounds so that they gain the trust of humans, something like that, right? And Geto, it's more emotional, of like, you are basically treated like a dog and expected to fight until the day you die. I guess there's a metaphor for being in the military or something like that. I'm not smart enough to break it down, maybe in another video. But both of these people make sense why they don't like the other race, right? And this is the only section where I can actually see the rationale of why they don't like the race they're hating on. But it is kind of crazy how much Geto hates on people who can't use sorcery. I'm trying so hard not to use monkey or the N-word. I want my content to get monetized, all of that stuff. Bro, if you watch the movie again, just count the amount of times he calls Maki or other people monkeys. It's crazy. This man would have been cancelled if he was in the real world. Well, if it isn't the second Hokage himself, like, you see him and then you realize why Madara wanted to burn the wall down and remake it. Because you can really see that this nigga had just hate in his heart. You look at this man and you look it into yourself, man, Donzo really learnt all of this from him, because there is a reason why I left him off of the list. Because yeah, he surpassed the master and went ahead and just killed him, but the second Hokage really set things in motion by dividing the Uchiha. Like, how you gonna find the village, half of the village, and then the village now starts separating you? This is literally segregation. This could have only just been made because he's racist and doesn't want to see them in the streets. You know, I'm sure when they got killed, he was crying out of joy, not because they died, no, because one of his students followed in his footsteps and at least had the balls to finally end the people he hated so much. You can't tell me this man would have called me the N-word if he was in real life. You know, to this point, the people I've covered here had a valid to shaky reason for why they are racist. Still shaky, but a reason. But Frieza is a hater for being a hater. How are you going to enslave people, force them to do whatever you want, call them monkeys, right? Cut their pride in half when you know that pride is a whole part of their culture, right? And then blow them up for getting too powerful and serving you too well. Like, you can't make this up. They don't make haters like Frieza anymore. Like, is it not crazy to you that you can even get pissed off that somebody is doing their job too well? Break this down for me, somebody in the comments section, how he can get angry at them for doing their job too well. This is not making any sense to me. I do my job too well, I don't get promoted, I get killed. And you know, to a certain point, I get it. They are rowdy, they're pretty PC, and you hear the legends, right? But you're fucking Frieza, who is going to stop you? Political stuff with the second Hokage. Donzo literally killed the Uchihas. Nothing happened. Okay? I'm just trying to say here that if they wanted it done, they could have gotten it done. I know this really kind of turned into a haters of race videos. I want to make a biggest haters in fiction. You know, kind of pick out Frieza and then use them.